when a member can share something that they have read that inspires them. If you would like to do a 2-minute reading, please contact the office or write your name on the list that's located on the backboard of the CSL. So today our speaker is Ian Irvin. Please help me welcome Ian.
Hello. As I put my glasses on. Good idea. One little book called The Art of Life by a guy named Ernest Holmes. He says, the science of mind teaches us to look for good instead of evil, to praise and not to condemn, to live each day as though counseled by divine wisdom and protected by infinite love. No matter what the doubts and fears of yesterday were, the affirmations of today may rise triumphant over them. If we persist in seeing beauty, beauty will appear. Let us no longer weep over the mistakes of yesterday. This is futile. Let us remember that each day is a fresh beginning. Every day is the world made new. It makes no difference how unhappy or fearful we may have been in the past. Today presents itself with a new opportunity. Today we may start life afresh. Thus, hope overcomes despair, faith vanquishes fear, and defeat is swallowed up in victory. As travelers crossing the desert, covered with dust and filled with weariness, as these travelers seek the refreshment of an oasis, the cool shade under a spreading palm, so the mind, weary with confusion, exhausted with too much effort, must seek a spiritual oasis in inner communion with the invisible. This oasis is the center of every person's life. There is a shelter of a rock in every man's soul. No one has ever turned to this place without finding comfort. Let us resolve to put aside the cares and worries that have troubled us. Let us seek the comfort and the peace of constant union of your mind with the mind of the universe. Do not wonder whether you're becoming religious or spiritual. Just wonder if you're getting right with yourself and the universe. If getting right with yourself and the universe is a religion, then at least it's a good religion, since it judges no one, condemns no one, and fears nothing. If living in harmony and unity with life is spirituality, then no doubt that's what we need. But remember, the power, the peace, the true salvation lies not in any outward form, but in some inward grace, wherein we become consciously one with all good. We shall have to feel our oneness with the power. The vital secret in every religion lies in the recognition that where the need is, there is also an answer. Where the problem is, there is also its solution. Perhaps our great mistake has been that we have tried to locate this secret place outside of ourselves. If so, we must turn our spiritual gaze inward. The secret place is not a location, but a state of thought, an interior awareness, a spiritual faith. Man is a center in the consciousness of God. Since God is everywhere, it naturally follows that we also stand on the threshold. We may enter in and possess this kingdom of good if we have the will to do so. But first, we must have faith in such a kingdom as exists. We must dare to believe not only that there is a secret place of the Most High, but that we are in there now. Is it then so difficult to believe that what if our problems seem great, individually and collectively? Is there not one greater than all these difficulties? Suppose you find yourself confronted by a problem which you seem unable to solve. Instead of thinking about the problem, turn from it to a recognition that life principle has no problems, only opportunities. Know that the mind within you already understands the solution to this problem. State definitely that the mind within you knows what you do. Affirm that you are inwardly guided by the supreme intelligence of the universe. Affirm that everything you ought to know, you do know. In actual practice, this means that we rearrange our thinking in such a way that we permit new ideas to flow in. The ideas, fears, and tensions that obstructed this flow are released. The stream flows again. It is in this sense that God is the answer to every human problem. Emerson tells us that we must beware lest we hold too much good in our hands. We must scatter it, he says, on every wind of heaven. Whitman says, the gift is most to the giver and comes back most to him. Jesus proclaimed, give, and it shall be given unto you. It is the nature of life that the more widely we use it, the more of it is delivered in our keeping for use. Every day we use the law of life in a constructive manner. We widen our channels for self-expression. They become broader and deeper. Denying the law of life temporarily blocks its flow through us. Spiritual faith opens up the use of this law as no other mental attitude can. You may not have noticed, but in the last 3 sentences of this reading, 2 words, the law, were used 3 times. When April asked me to speak this morning, I remembered a little book by Ernest Holmes titled The Art of Life. I bought it a few years ago because I was curious about a science of mind book dealing with the art of things, as opposed to what seemed to me more commonly used terms such as the laws of things. I prefer to think in terms of the art of things as opposed to the law. I feel that science of mind is very much an art, in that every art becomes an art only through practice, and that is what this center has given me for many years, the opportunity to practice. May it serve you as well as it has served me.